Alright guys, well, not that long ago we put up a video of my Big Block 754 Remington Super Chainsaw here from what I gather by the serial number, like 1968. So this thing is pretty damn old, but you know, when my dad gave this thing to me 15 years ago, I kind of took it for granted how nice a condition the thing really was in. And when he gave it to me, I had to cut some big trees down, and it never really ran right when my dad gave it to me. But it got the job done, and it literally went in my shed for 15 years, and to be taken out when we just made this video. So anyway, long story short, I figured out what was wrong with it, and it was a carburetor problem. Now this has a very interesting type of carburetor where it uses a diaphragm to pull gas from the tank. And underneath this little screw there is a little gasket. And there, back in those days, they made them out of cork. And the cork shrank. So the engine could never suck gasoline into it and run it. It would just run kind of lean and maybe not all that great, but it would never idle. So what I did was I took a piece of inner tube and I took a socket and cut it out with a real sharp X-Acto knife, and I made a gasket for it, put it in, and unfortunately Gail and I didn't make the video about trying to start it, because what happened was I was ready to start it, the damn ripcord broke. And it didn't want to start because the ripcord broke. So I took this apart, and I don't know if you've ever taken one of these apart on a chainsaw, but there's a big recoil spring in here, like a kind of it's in a watch. And it's sharp and it'll cut your damn fingers off. Anyway, I spent a whole hell of a lot of time recoiling it. We went to the hardware store that night. I got a new rope. We put it on and came back, and I didn't want to make videos. I wanted to just, get it running. So I pulled it a bunch of times. I put some air in this tank, pressurized it. I had fuel come out. Hot dog, it ran. It ran pretty damn good. I was excited to use it because this is for cutting big trees down, and this thing is literally like a big block. It cuts through shit fast. In fact, some of the comments, people were still looking and checking these things out. These are a pretty serious, interesting chainsaw, because there are guys that collect vintage chainsaws. And like I said, I never really appreciated how nice a condition this thing was in. And some of our subscribers came back and told us some stuff about it. It's an 88cc, which is a pretty damn big cylinder. It's like a big one. And of course, I said to Gail, I went down that rabbit hole and I started looking up chainsaws and found out that Remington made a 754G, which was a military chainsaw. You can actually check them out on YouTube. There are guys that spend the time to fix these things up, and they're gear driven instead of a clutch like what most chainsaws have. Anyway, so yesterday we go to get ready to cut, and got it fired up and ready to go. Got my ear protection on. I made 4 passes and the engine seized up, and I could say almost I'm heartbroken, kinda, because I don't know why it didn't seize up when I used it 15 years ago, but I think if it would have ran better, it might have seized up 15 years ago, and we'd be going where we're going now. But anyway, so now I got the thing to run right and cut, and I had to go borrow my dad's saw, and we couldn't use the Remington. So I was kind of bummed about that. So when the engine seized up, I thought maybe I got my mixtures wrong. Maybe, just maybe, I got my mixtures wrong. But underneath the cover, it still has the original label, tells you the ratio. So I mixed my gasoline according to that, because I'm pretty serious about this. And I don't know if maybe modern gas with ethanol in it mixed with this. I should have made the mixture a little bit dirtier, added a little more oil, because there's a lot of things back at old vintage gasoline from the 60s and 70s that had put lead in it. There was a lot of lubricants in there. And I'm not really super schooled up on antique two-stroke stuff, but in hindsight I think I should have done that. Or maybe the thing had the hell beat out of it for so long that it was ready to go anyway. So as Gail can attest, I ran up here after it seized up. Now I only made 4 passes, so the thing wasn't even really hot for it to lock up. Ran up here, got the air hose, cooled the cylinder down because it was smoking and it was hot. I was able to free the engine up, so the engine did pull over. At least it didn't damage, at least I hope it didn't damage the cylinder head or anything inside there. I don't know. But when I went to go pull the string to try to restart it again after it cooled off, the damn freaking thing went flying in there. Now it's stuck in there, and now I can't start it if I want to. This chainsaw has made a decision that it's not going to run that day, and I wasn't able to use it. So now what do I do? Well, I kind of attached to it now. Once I found out that these things are popular and that guys like these things, and someone would definitely buy this chainsaw, probably for 150, 200 bucks because of its condition, but now it doesn't run. So, my dad says, well, just get rid of it. No, Dad, I don't want to get rid of it. I don't want to do that because I didn't even know that guys collect this kind of stuff. So what am I? I'm a mechanic and I can fix stuff. Well, guess what? Right now, because in Pennsylvania the weather's beautiful, and I'm going to be borrowing my dad's chainsaw to cut the other big one up there on the hill, I've decided to make this a winter project. So if you guys are here for chainsaw stuff or for Gail, whatever you're here for, over the winter, Gail and I are going to come out to the garage and we're going to take this thing apart, and I'm going to, you know, pull the spark plug and make sure the strap didn't burn off of it, and then I'm going to bring my compression tester home and find out the specifications for the engine to see if it has compression or it does not have compression. I don't really know, but it sucks. But we're gonna, according to some of these guys that have posted videos, and some of those videos are like 10 years old, they said you can still get parts for these. Now, I don't know what you can still buy. I don't know the specifications for the engine as far as compression. Who knows, 10 years ago, maybe you can't even buy parts for these. I do know that Remington is still in business, unbelievably. But as far as monster saws with big power, you're not going to find something like this. You know, you can buy stuff like this, but it's very expensive. So it's worth fixing, and I'm up for the challenge because I don't want to get rid of it now. I want to keep it for myself. Maybe it'll become one of those man cave things where you got the chainsaw up there. But I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to hang on to it because my dad, I talked to my dad today when I told him the story. He said he got this in 1972. Used in 72. That's how long this thing has been in the family. So I can't get rid of it. So stay tuned over the winter. If you guys are liking this kind of stuff, we're gonna I'm gonna pull the plug and we'll do a compression test and we'll pull the jug off and we'll see if we can buy the parts, and I'll fix it and I'll fix the saw, and it'll be a working, cool vintage saw for the channel. So thanks for stopping by, and do me a big favor. Hit that subscribe button for me.
Please do. We'd appreciate it.
Alright, well, thank you very much. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Alright, you know what would be better? Instead of just me saying hit that subscribe button, why don't we just do the right thing and give you guys an 8 seconds with Gail video? How's that? Alright, let's do that.
Hey guys, you like what you see? You do? Fantastic. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down there for me so you get to see a whole lot more.
Alright, well, to add insult to injury, the chainsaw seized up. But in the process of me pulling the cord, the brand new cord we put in, a rope, the pin flew in the air. Now this is the original pin for the Remington. So now I lost the pin. So the cord is now wrapped up in there, which we're going to eventually come back to and get to that. But it bothered me. I lost the pin. I mean, the pin goes right here, and then the rope's supposed to be tied to it. I guess I didn't really tie it too tight. I should have maybe heated it up with a torch and, you know, got it hot and melted the knot on, which is I thought of doing, and I didn't do it because, you know, I didn't do it, and I should have. I think, you know, in hindsight, you know better. So I spent, I don't know, 45 minutes after work one night trying to find it because the Remington's gas tank leaks a little bit, so there's dead spots on the grass. So I looking around trying to find it, couldn't find it, so I had to wait a week, couldn't cut the grass down there, and then I'd go down borrow my old man's metal detector, and Gail and I don't know, spent an hour and a half
at least
metal detecting. Oh, well, we'll show them what we found.
Okay.
We'll show them this. Metal detector was kind of screwing us up, not realizing how much metal is laying around, but this was about, what, 8 inches down?
At least, yeah.
We don't even know what it is, but there's a big chunk of metal that's probably been there since World War II, because that's when the house was built. So we found that, but it was picking up on all kinds of stuff.
It was,
anyway,
yes.
Long story short, metal detector would not find it. So we ended up using this. Come on this way. I didn't know my dad had this, but look at this thing. This is a giant magnet. And I'm talking about a magnet that, you know, I don't know what it weighs, but it's heavy. Look at this thing.
I know, it's heavy.
It's insane. And if you look at it, it looks like it's got mud stuck to it, but it's metal particles. I rolled this thing 40 feet up and down 5 times. 5 times in the yard where I thought it was. And you know, when you think you might lose something, never ever look where you think you lost it. Look for it where you didn't think you lost it. And guess what? Whack! I heard it smack. And I was like, I couldn't be more excited. Now, this is the kind of magnet, unlike a lot of magnets, you can't put a magnet near a mechanical watch, because this has enough power to suck the hands off the watch and leave them lay in your watch. Just so you know that, FYI, if you have a mechanical watch, stay the hell away from magnets. Alright, well that's it, Gail. See you guys later.
Hey guys, you like what you see? You do? Fantastic. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down there for me so you get to see a whole lot more.
Yeah, a whole lot more chainsaw stuff too, huh?